Hey guys, Zach here. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I want to blame Instagram for that. I think a lot of us YouTubers are spending most of our time now on Instagram, just posting short videos and sharing pics, and pretty much just burning up most of our day being on on Instagram. I'll put my my Instagram name's pretty much the same as my YouTube name, but I'll throw it down in the comments in case you guys want to follow me there. But today I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about my MSC Customs Performance Center SNG. Picked this sucker up at G6. I actually got a bunch of different stuff at G6, some of which I'm going to do videos for, some of which I've already traded away or whatever. I ended up picking up some stuff that I just didn't really feel like it was going to fit in my collection. Not as much as I thought originally, so I'm going to do videos pretty much on just the stuff I'm going to keep for the most part. Anyway, let's take a look at these. And kind of what I want to do with this video is I want to actually compare it to just the standard Strider SNG. So right off the top, let's take a look at it. Let's get a nice close-up. You'll notice that the MSC Performance Center SNG, kind of along the lines of the Performance Center PT, full titanium. Both sides are full titanium, both slabs. You'll notice right away that Mick has gone and tried to use a deep carry pocket clip, which seems to be the source of much discussion in the knife world and the Strider world. Some guys love this thing, some guys hate it, some guys like me are indifferent. You'll notice the pivot is a little bit different there. The pivot is actually, it's not a typical Strider spanner pivot. You've got your you need your special Strider tool. It's still kind of a binder ring bolt type of a pivot, but just a standard Allen wrench. I'm not sure what size, but standard Allen wrench on both sides, which is cool. There's the nice thing about the MSC stuff is it's coming directly out of Mick's shop, which is my understanding. Instead of out of the Strider shop, which they're really two separate entities. There's Dwayne's shop, Mick's shop, and then the Strider shop. And these Performance Center ones are coming out of Mick's shop. You've got nice milled handles here. I would consider this to be a mid-tech knife. Okay, so it's not a full custom. It's not a full hand ground Mick custom, but it is a little bit special. You know, these have a little bit more care, a little bit more attention to detail. You know, and they're coming right out of Mick's shop, which is pretty damn cool. It has a PVD coated, I think they said it's chromium nitride coated blade, so you can see there. It's not actually bead blasted, this is actually a coating, which seems to, in my experience so far with carrying this around, pick up a shit ton of fingerprints. Seems to be fairly scratch resistant so far. I do have a few micro scratches in it, but nothing you can really see in the camera. Along the lines of things Mick likes to do, it has an asymmetrical edge, so you'll see you've got a nice bevel here for your grind, for your cutting edge, and on this side you'll notice that it's a chisel basically. This is what they call the asymmetrical edge. So in theory, that you go from a cutting edge that looks like this to one that looks like this, and you should be able to should give you a better slicer in theory anyway. It really comes down to, in my experience, how you hold the knife when you're slicing through something. You want to take into account that bevel is asymmetrical like that, and actually turn your knife ever so slightly, so it's a little bit more like a razor to take advantage of that. But let's just take a few more looks at it here. You'll notice that the stop pins are a little bit dressed up. The hardware itself is nice, polished, custom-like hardware. You'll notice the addition of a lanyard slot, which is made possible by the fact that you don't have a screw. You don't have this screw right here that would hold the standard Strider clip. Let's just get them up next to each other here and take a look. Just some real subtle detailed changes on these. your stop pin area right here in the front is a tiny bit different. You'll notice that it's not totally cupped out like it is on the standard SNG. It's kind of a gradual slope there. Everything is just refined just a little bit, ever so much on these. Overall, the blade thicknesses are basically very close, if not absolutely the same. You got your nice M strider kind of laser etched in here in the choil area. You open the standard SNG. On these Performance Center ones, you'll notice that it's more of the high full flat ground, as opposed to on my Z-Wear version. I've got the 3/4 with the hollow grind. Let's get these in front of the camera. Of course, the pivot, which I've mentioned. The pocket clip. But very, very similar knives, you know, as you would expect. Very, very similar. One less row of jimping on the handle. Sort of. It's kind of this front cutout. We want to get in the details here if we can get my camera to focus. This front cutout of jimping right here is kind of squared off, and the stop pin area here is just a slightly bit different. You'll see there. Just wanted to kind of point out some of the differences between these. So guys that are in the market for a Performance Center SNG, which a lot of us have been for a long time, ever since we saw the Performance Center PT and the Performance Center SJ75. I'm sure there will be a Performance Center SMF sometime in the future, which will be highly anticipated as well. Just a little bit more refinement, and you know, you're paying. I believe these are close to $600, so $595 for these. Whereas a typical standard 3/4 grind SNG is going to cost you around $400. In the case of special steels like this one with Z-Wear, I think these were $475. The CC versions, as you guys know, probably are $475. You get into the SMFs, you're into the $500. So for about $100 more, you're able to get this this Performance Center version, and I think that's pretty decent. In the world of mid-techs, it might be a little high in the world of mid-techs when you're comparing to all the mid-techs, the Les Georges and the Brad Southards and David Mosier and everybody else who's doing mid-techs out of Chad Nichols' shop. That's a little bit high, but mixed stuff usually does demand a premium price. I know I've seen these suckers on the secondary market already going for $1,000, anywhere from $850 to low thousands. So you guys know how that game goes. Pocket clip. I have carried it. It does not affect the way I use the knife in any way. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool innovation. I think his idea was originally that the pocket clip would be switchable. On this first batch, though, you'll see that the cutout is only set up for it to be right-hand carry. There's not actually another cutout here on the other side of the frame to swap the pocket clip over. There's a close-up of that pocket clip and that lanyard hole. I was thinking that this bend right here in the lock bar relief cut was going to cause me some issues getting this in and out of my pants, and really it hasn't. There's not too much tension on this pocket clip to allow that. It stays in the pocket. The pocket retention is really good, but it doesn't hold too much to the point where I can't get it out. Now, I've seen on Mick's forum up on the USN that he has tinkered around and shown a version where it has a standard strider clip, which I know a lot of guys are going to be happy about, wherein essentially he's drilled just a little hole right in here, and this piece of hardware here, this post, which I could see if I can get the camera to focus in on it, instead of being flat and polished there, is actually recessed, or has a hollow hole through it where the clip tab will actually go in. So if you really hate this deep carry clip, I'm sure if you wait, if you're patient and you watch his site and you just kind of keep your ear to the ground, eventually there will be a version that has the standard clip, or maybe there'll be a version that has both an option to run the standard or the deep carry clip. As of right now, though, the latest releases, which I think that today actually, there's going to be a drop of these. So if you guys are interested and you watch this video today, get on the Mick's site there and get subscribed to his newsletter. Blade steel. Let's talk about blade steel. It's the blade steel on these is CPM 20CV. I personally have zero experience with this steel, so as I use it, I can maybe give you an update on that. But otherwise, I have, you know, it's a CPM steel, so it's a powdered metallurgy type process. Of course, you see it picks up tons of fingerprints. It is coated, as I said. The washers, I have not had this apart, but they are a little bit different. I don't think they're standard bronze phosphor washers. These are very, very smooth right out of the box though, as opposed to a lot of SNGs that I've handled where, especially these coated ones, where they take a bit of break-in period and pivot adjustment. You can see my Z-wear here's taking a bit of abuse. Let's take a look at the lock bar relief cut in comparison here. You'll notice that it's just a slight bit different. The recess cut here for your thumb is moved back ever so slightly on the Performance Center, and of course you've got a matching recess cut on the other tie slab, which you wouldn't have on the G10. The jimping is also removed here from the lock bar, which does not seem to affect anything in the least. If anything, this lock bar is the smoothest Strider lock bar that I have on any of the ones that I've owned. Now keep in mind I haven't owned any full custom mix work, so I can't compare to those, but of all the standard production Striders, this lock bar is beautiful. Zero lock stick out of the box, no need to magic marker or pencil edit, none of that. Just really easy to disengage. Lockup is great. Lockup's super strong. No left and right, no up and down wiggle. Take a look at the lockup there. The last feature that I want to point out on these Performance Centers is, of course, the elimination of the solid backspacer, which is inherent to the G10 construction of the standard SNG and SMF. It's just one piece. If you're unfamiliar, the backspacer is actually part of the G10 side on all of those models. So on the Performance Center, you'll see you've got this nice turned. Let's see if we can get her focused. These nice turned standoff barrel type standoffs here, and they're really, really well done. You start with a 2 groove kind of here, and then in the rear one you've got 3 groove, and then another 3 groove here down here by the pocket clip. Anyway guys, I just wanted to kind of compare these two and give you guys an idea of the similarities and differences. I mean, essentially it is the same knife overall, same overall size, you know, 3.5 inch blade ish, 3-inch cutting length, same on both knives, but there are just a bunch of subtle upgrades that are on this this Performance Center. And if you can't spring, you know, $1,000, $800, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for a full custom Mick blade, this is kind of right up your alley. Just end here by giving you another quick look at it. It does, of course, come with this nice Velcro padded case. I'm not sure on the other Performance Center stuff if it came with a case or not. Patch not included. This is my personal patch. So really nice upgrade in their packaging. And now, I mean, I'm really just excited to have this. When I went to G6, I told myself that I knew these were first come, first serve. I was somewhat in the head of the line for the first day, and I said, I'm going to go straight to Mick's table. I'm going to get one of these because I really want one of these. And if I get nothing else in the entire show, I'll leave the show happy. And so I ran right over there with my $600 in hand and snagged one up immediately. I think there were quite a few of us who did that as well. So anyway, hopefully guys, I'll put up a few more videos in the coming weeks of some other stuff I got from G6. I'd actually want to do a comparison video of the Les George Talos. I have a Frag Talos, and I'd like to compare that to the VECP for guys who are kind of curious as to how those two knives stack up. But until then, guys, thanks for watching. Again, I'll put Instagram info below, and thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.